悪いことかってよ。なあ、おい、てめえ、しかとこいてんじゃねえぞ、こら。
ああ。
兄貴！
三刀流。灯籠流し。
この大層な包帯はどうしてどこかで転んだよ。なんだこの傷は。なぜこんな体で生きていられるんだ。なぜ立っていられるんだ。見つけたぜ。死ね。
まずはうばし。軽い、いい刀だ。カエルキュー。マイ何？ミス・バンデ。どうした力島。力比べが望みじゃねえのか。続けようか、バロックアクセ。喧嘩はシャレじゃねえんだぜ。
くらえ1万キロプレイ。
ルフィ、てめえにはもう何を言っても。
どうなってるの？こいつら仲間じゃなかったの？ガムガムなー！
鬼！
オフィサーエージェントの俺たちをなめるんじゃねえ。
ごちゃごちゃうるせえな。
勝負だ。
邪魔だ。
焼き鬼。燃える刀ってのも悪くない。敵だな。敵だろ。どうなんだ、味方か？
敵だけど何をそんなに。
おい君、やめろ。そいつらに手を出すと。
あったく借りるぜ。
お前そのために。
で俺の技を受け切れるとは思えね
いいんだ。もう受けねえ。一刀流居合。
シスソンソンアトミックスパート。
礼を言う。俺はまだまだ強くなれる。
本当に。
Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's the penultimate death battle in my death battle catch-up, which is the fight between Roronoa Zoro and Erza Scarlet, from One Piece and Fairy Tail respectively. Now I follow both of these mangas, and I watched the One Piece anime until near the Paramount War, when I grew a bit tired of how it started dragging out compared to where the manga was. That's the big problem with these long-running animes. If the manga is caught up to, they've got to pad it out and make fillers, and the anime had been suffering for a while, so I decided to not bother with it anymore. I don't watch anime much at all now. But anyway, I'm really big fan of the One Piece manga. I have been since at the very earliest 2006, when I first started posting on online message boards. So I've been following weekly for the past 11 years. I think the scanlations that were available online were like the Skypiea chapters. So I've been following weekly since before the Water 7 stuff. So yeah, I've been in it for the long haul. I know pretty much everything there is to know about Roronoa Zoro. He's one of the strongest characters of his age group. He's destined to one day become the greatest swordsman in the world, which is still a few leagues above him, if you can believe that. The feats this guy's done are like impossible. He's got such superhuman endurance, strength, tenacity, so he puts most other shonen heroes to shame, and he's not even the main character. Luffy is, who is a beast in his own right, but Zoro could kill him, I have no doubt. Especially because, you know, rubber can be cut, but that's besides the point. But Zoro is constantly referred to throughout the series, and I don't know if they'll mention this or not, but people often mistake him for being the captain of the crew. That is how dangerous he is. That is how much of a badass he is. People see him, that is a goddamn monster. It's like, are you sure he's not the one with the highest bounty on his head? And that says a lot about what he's capable of. You know, especially if they're going to use time skip Zoro, with 2 years training under the very best swordsman in the world, who with a single swish of his sword, not even a hard slash, just a swish of his sword, cut a mountain-sized glacier clean in half. Yeah, learning from that guy. I know that Erza is very skilled with bladed weapons and using, you know, her ability. Now, of course, I'll have forgotten some things about Fairy Tail. I can't even... X-Quip. I think I remember her technique is X-Quip. I haven't been following Fairy Tail since near the end of the big tournament that had Fairy Tail A and Fairy Tail B after that big time skip that they had. And, it sort of gets mocked on One Piece forums for not only seeming to use a similar art style, but that's debates from years ago. But I don't know, do people often give it crap for a lot of the generic shonen-y things that it does? How Hiro, as a writer, Hiro Mashima, the author, can't seem to decide on what he wants to do and keeps adding a power up, Let's use friendship, blah blah. And you're a dragon slayer suddenly. Oh, I have appeared and I want to do this. Oh, it was this all along. It starts to feel a bit like Bleach to some people, where things just keep happening for happening's sake and he doesn't have any idea what he's actually doing with the story. Now, I don't know how accurate any of that actually is, because I've not even been reading, because I took a big break from reading a bunch of manga titles. I got into some new ones around the same time, and it's just sort of been an extended procrastination. Like, if I'd have had a bit more time, I'd have probably done a catch-up with the Fairy Tail manga, just to make sure I was aware of every little thing that Erza can do now. But then I thought, you know what? I have faith in Zoro. I'm not going to rush and do some cramming on Erza, because I'm sure that the guys here will explain the very best of what she's able to do right now. Like in the previous battle, where I thought, Doomsday would win because of just how he seemed to be that step above, I think Zoro is like 5 steps above Erza. Not to say Erza isn't a beast in her own respective series, because Erza is amazing. Like, she is one of that manga's saving graces. Even the detractors of the manga say that. She is just a boss. She is a very strong female character that kicks ass and takes names, has like really good dark red hair, and she's got this big boss of an attitude that just makes her awesome. But I just can't compare it to Zoro. Zoro has done some incredible things that I don't think I've seen Erza come close to accomplishing, but if they can show me some feats I may have forgotten or not seen yet, then I shall be tempted to reconsider. We shall see where we stand after getting the information. As I said, this is possibly the fight I have the most investment in, aside from Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie, because of the ponies, of course, but this speaks to manga that I've known about for years, and one of them I've followed for over 10 years, so this is personal. And while I can say I wouldn't mind if Erza won and they explained it properly, I still might be a bit disappointed, because I feel like Zoro is such a beast that he could get up from whatever she threw at him, considering what he's got up from. If they don't pay special attention to it, I am going to insert a compilation of all the injuries Zoro has stood up from, if I can find the right clips. With that being said, let's just see how they get on, shall we? Boop.
Past, present, or future, one kind of fighter has stood the test of time. The swordsman.
Yep.
And today's combatants are 2 of the most skilled warriors to ever wield a blade.
Damn
Roronoa
straight.
Zoro, the feared swordsman of the Straw Hat Pirates.
And Erza Scarlet, the battle mage of the Fairy Tail Guild.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
This will be interesting
And
indeed.
It's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Can't wait to relive some of Zoro's best moments.
As a child, Roronoa Zoro dreamed of becoming the greatest swordsman in the world.
But he didn't just enroll at a dojo. He showed up, challenged everyone, and
Yep.
then just sort of stuck around.
Zoro's dojo training sharpened his natural talent with a sword, but there was one person he could never quite manage to beat. His
Yeah,
sensei's
Kuina.
daughter, Kuina. They dueled a lot, and Kuina won every single matchup.
Over
All
2,000
2,001
times.
of them.
Yeah.
Damn, you think you would have gotten at least one in?
Despite the constant defeat, Kuina and Zoro were very close friends. Together, they promised that someday one of them would become the world's best
Oh,
swordsman.
wow.
And
The
then
art
she
style
fell
of the
down
early
stairs and
chapters.
died, which just seems like an unacceptable way for a master swordsman to bite the dust.
Does thin out the competition for world's best swordsman, though.
True. I mean, that's how I became the world's best shotgun woodcarver.
After Kuina's death,
Of course
Zoro
you did.
inherited her sword and used it to hone his skills even further. eventually leaving the dojo in search of the current title holder of World's Greatest Swordsman, Dracule Mihawk.
Who looks
But he
French
immediately got
or
himself
Spanish.
lost. With nothing better to do, he became a bounty hunter and wandered around the ocean until
That
he
is
ran
such a
into
cool
weird,
technique. I
crazy
love that
pirate
technique.
kid.
You mean Monkey D. Luffy, who brought Zoro onto his crew of Straw Hat Pirates.
Actually
Yeah,
worked
he
out
was the
pretty
first
well,
crew
since
member.
Luffy was already looking to hire him anyway. Turns out Zoro has quite a reputation.
At this point, he was already a master swordsman, and after
Yeah,
finding and training
and that was
under
his
Mihawk,
weakest in the
swordsmanship
series.
became legendary.
He created his own fighting style, Santoryu. Also
With a sword in his
great
mouth.
Sword style, because he uses 3 swords, 1 in each hand and 1 in his freaking mouth.
Somehow.
That doesn't seem very safe.
Oh, shut up, Wiz. Badasses don't care about safety.
Exactly.
Regardless, with the 3-sword
Boomstick
style,
gets
Zoro
it.
can perform several unique attacks, including the Onigiri, where he strikes with all 3 blades at once.
Or the Tatsumaki, where he makes a tornado
He's got so many
dragon.
techniques.
By swinging his swords a certain way, he can fire compressed air projectiles toward an opponent. Like
And
with
that
his
lasts a
deadliest
long
technique,
time.
1080-pound cannon.
They said, how
And
long will
last
this
but not
chase us?
least, he
To
knows
the
how
ends of
control
hell.
9-sword style.
Wait, did he just grow 4 more arms and 2 more heads?
He's
How did he
insane.
do that?
It's just an illusion, but it still somehow has physical presence.
He's like a human slap chop with a total of 9 swords.
That's one way to put it. In addition to his skills with a blade, Zoro is able to use haki, a mysterious
Yes,
power
haki.
that every living being possesses, but only a select few have learned how to use.
Hockey, much like Neapolitan ice cream, comes in 3 flavors, and Zoro only has access to
Well-
chocolate and vanilla.
Some people have a rare 4th.
What? I don't even... Well, one of those flavors is observation haki,
That's vanilla.
of course, which in some ways is similar to Spider-Man's Spidey sense.
Yes.
Zoro can sense the location of other people, even if they're invisible or far away, and can also predict most opponents' attacks.
Then
That was so
chocolate,
cool.
everyone's
That guy
favorite
was meant to
hockey
be the
flavor,
villain of the
is
arc,
armament
and he
hockey.
just chopped
This
him
lets
down
his
instantly,
opponent
forcing him to
invisible
find a
around
power-up
himself
to
as
become a threat
protection,
again.
Or harden his swords to make his strikes cut through almost anything.
With both haki, Zoro has been a real asset to the Straw Hat Pirates. They've traveled the world and had a lot of weird adventures.
Like that time, Zoro fought a literal living mountain man named Pika and sliced him clean in half.
Yes.
Strike so powerful it didn't just cut through Pika, it sent his top half flying upward. Considering Pika's enormous size and approximate
Yeah,
mass,
yeah.
this strike had to have been more powerful than the first ever deployed hydrogen bomb, the 11 megaton Castle Romeo.
Also, Zoro's pretty damn fast. One time he moved so quickly he seemed invisible to a room full of highly trained assassins. And when the odds are against him, he'll keep pushing
He's
himself.
so
even
many
past the
awesome
point of
things.
bleeding out.
His fights are
Plus,
often
he's
the highlight of an
powerful
arc, aside
right
from
up
Luffy.
against pain, such as...
Yes, he took all of Luffy, the main character's pain and struggling that he'd been through, onto his own body.
Holy shit! How the hell is
And he
still
lived.
standing after that?
That's
That
a
was meant to kill him.
question. After a battle with Kuma, a bear man because this is One Piece, Zoro took on not only his own pain from near death, but also Luffy's.
The main characters, after a big boss fight,
But it
all
just
that pain and
did it.
fatigue.
And he doesn't
Took
even
it on.
brag about it. What a badass.
Can
Zoro
Erza do
is
that?
definitely the stoic badass type, but he can't do everything. He's a sword fighter above all, and prefers to fight up close and personal.
He also has the world's shittiest sense of direction. He gets lost
Yeah.
without someone there literally reading the map for him, and could never survive on his own without his friends.
You might think Zoro would be more of a lone wolf type of guy, but no. Much like how Kuina's death spurred him on to become a great swordsman, it's his friends who keep him fighting.
I love that intro sequence, the animation on it.
To meet you.
I'm satisfied, by the way, that they did a good damage thing from... That was the biggest feat
Erza
he's
Scarlet
taken.
grew up in a small rural town called Rosemary
And
Village.
Pika was his
Pretty
greatest show of strength.
As far as childhoods go.
Hold on, Wiz. I'm
Stronger than a
getting
nuke.
A premonition. Despite everything seeming perfect, something terrible happens.
A murderous cult attacked, destroyed the city, and enslaved the children to build a tower to resurrect their evil overlord.
There it is.
Fairy tale, everybody.
Erza was tortured, and while she may have lost an eye in the process, she also gained a friend, Jalal Fernandez. He actually gave Erza her last name, Scarlet, after her red hair.
She and her buddies swore they'd escape, so
It's
Erza ended
fitting.
up staging a revolt and saved the other slaves thanks to discovering her latent magical powers.
Yeah, in her own series,
Unfortunately,
Erza is
not
amazing.
everyone made it out.
Turns out Jalal got possessed by some spirit that made him a huge dick, and she had to go without him.
Fine, if you want to leave so badly, then I'm not going to stop you. But you'll have to go alone.
After that nightmare, Erza swore to dedicate her life to helping and protecting the innocent.
Oh, 19.
And so
I forgot
joined
that.
the Fairy Tale Magicians Guild. Luckily for them, she possessed a great skill set for a mage.
Her main thing is requip magic, which is basically like having an armory with you at all times, without having to lug it around.
Requip magic allows Erza to summon
Okay,
a vast
requip,
array of
not
weapons and armor
exquip.
at will, meaning she can use multiple combinations of swords, lances, and outfits all in one fight without ever really slowing down.
Damn, that'd be useful for all my weapons. How many's she packing?
She's rumored to have access to as many as 100 sets of armor and 200 weapons.
That's why she's
As far as
Titania.
armor goes, her go-to is the standard Heart Cruise set. But there's also the Heaven's Wheel armor, where she can send swords flying at people. the
That is so
flaky
majestic.
defensive Adamantine armor, and the Black Wing and Flame Empress armors, which have wings for flying.
Don't forget her giant armor, which she uses with a lance, purgatory armor, which has a lot of spikes, and seduction armor. I'm not
The best
really sure
armor.
what purpose this serves.
Probably to make enemies terribly aroused. Ever tried to fight with an erection whiz? Believe me, it's not easy.
Right.
Wow.
Well, Erza claims her most
Sanji
powerful armor
sometimes
is the
fight with an
Armadura
erection.
Fairy armor, which is very pink.
These are fancy and all, but sometimes she doesn't even bother suiting up. If her back's against the wall, Erza equips her Clear Heart clothing. This enhances
that's
her
supposed to
speed
be
and
her
attack
strongest.
defense, and channels all her magical energy into her katanas for a decisive blow.
She can charge magic through her swords to perform all sorts of magical attacks, even mixing and matching weapons and armors to better her chances in a fight.
She's also just really good at sword fighting. Actually,
Yeah,
she's
she
really
is.
good with a lot
I
of
can see
weapons,
why people want them
including
to fight.
hand-to-hand.
All of this makes Erza an excellent addition to the Fairy Tale Guild. She
She's an
quickly
S-class.
became one of its highest-ranking mages and was
Yeah.
the youngest member to ever pass the S-class mage promotion test. An
She was a
incredibly
bit of a
difficult
prodigy.
gauntlet only the strongest and wisest of warriors can even attempt.
Speaking of achievements, she's pretty friggin' strong. Don't believe me? Well, here she is, lancing a hole through a giant floating cube.
This cube was about 100 million cubic miles in volume. To punch through it, Erza's lance must have dealt about 16 kilotons of force.
Hers is
Boom.
also fast enough to deflect bullets point blank from
Real
a
time.
pistol. Guns with a muzzle velocity of about 540 miles per hour.
That's
And
good reaction
without a
time.
Speed boost from her armor.
Right, many of her armor sets grant her stat boosts, increasing her speed, magic, defense, etc. She's survived plenty of destructive blasts, including one that blew up an island. Considering that island's size, that's an explosion equivalent to 2 kilotons of TNT.
So she's sexy, can survive island busting
Very
attacks,
sexy.
and has a shit ton of weapons. She's basically perfect. Just wish she used a gun or two.
Well, she may have a vast armory, but swapping them in and out requires magic, and she can run her supply down if she's not careful.
So it's just like a mana bar in those fantasy
So she
games
can
you
run
all
out
play.
of magic,
Exactly.
but
Though even when
Zoro
she's
can
out of
keep
magic,
standing
she's
up.
still quite deadly in
can you
hand-to-hand.
stop him standing up?
Like when she fought her alternate self from another parallel universe.
That universe has a lot less clothing. Sign me up.
But when you're among the best in the guild, you get the job done no matter the limits.
I will withstand any physical pain to protect the ones that I love.
Good
All
for
right,
you.
combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for
This should be
all.
fun.
It's time for a death battle.
No break. That's what I'm talking about. Good luck, Erza. Right,
Oh,
let's just
sorry,
see how this
lady.
goes.
Could you point me in the way of the shipyard? I've been looking around for hours.
That is a big reward.
You're the one I'm looking for. Come peacefully and you won't be harmed.
Sorry, I'm busy.
The government will harm him, though.
Then we'll have to do this the
They're
hard
just gonna execute him.
Told you I'm busy. Fine. Well, I guess we're doing this now.
I like this attitude. It's just like the actual Zoro.
Whoa, what?
You're coming with me!
trick.
I wondered. It's been a while since I've seen the Funimation dub. Did they get Chris Sabat to do Zoro for this? Ah!
Try laughing at this!
Here we go. More quips. I loved playing as Zoro in One Piece Grand Battle for consoles.
You are strong, pirate.
He has good combos. Yeah, he can do his Phoenix slashes.
Fool. Nothing is worse than the loss of life.
Don't start crying, woman.
What?
So much for all that true strength bullshit.
Oh, nice view from the front.
I can do this. I will claim this bounty for my guild, for my strength, for my
Bandana's on, it's serious time.
Bring it on!
The bandana almost canonically increases his strength, somehow.
You're not the only one who fights for their friends!
Yeah, both series have a high-running theme of camaraderie. Jesus. I'm so sorry, Erza.
Where the hell is that shipyard?
You are too cool for that to happen to you, but it's the result I expected.
In the past, Erza could react
That
to
was
projectiles
brutal.
over 500 miles per hour, but Zoro could move faster than the eye could see.
I'm kind of sad to see such a lovely character get split in half.
Consistently spot and recognize an image in 1/220th of a second. So in this case, Zoro would have had to move from point A to point B, which is about 57 feet, in 4.5 milliseconds.
Zoro
That's close
is
to
ridiculous.
9,000 miles per hour.
That's more than 5 times faster than a bullet. Erza didn't really rely on speed anyway, and there's no evidence any of her armor magic could have helped close that wide of a gap. Speaking of her armor, Erza did have more options in defense and weaponry. Unfortunately for her, she was simply outclassed and damaged.
I love this
Erza could
half-electronic
withstand hits of about 2
version
kilotons, like
of the
blast
One
which
Piece
destroyed
opening.
that island. But Zoro has dished out much stronger blows than that.
Yes!
Slicing Pika in half, for example, was equivalent to 11.5 megatons. That's about 6,000 times bigger than anything Erza has survived.
Exactly!
And while Erza's artificial eye may have seen through Zoro's 9-sword style illusion, it couldn't prevent him from actually attacking her. She also had that habit of stripping down to clear hard clothing in a bind. Yeah, it gave her more sword power, but at the cost of less defense. This sounded like a good idea on
Yeah,
paper, but
so she got torn in half.
Zoro's bread and butter. Urza was mostly self-taught, and while proficient with a blade, Zoro has trained with swords all his life. Even with the greatest swordsman in the world,
exactly.
an up-close duel was exactly what he was looking for. Yes, she won't be getting a
Jeez.
fairy tale ending. The winner is Roronoa
That was good,
Zoro.
Boomstick. Gotta see what they did for the next time. Break! Is it... Oh, okay, Deadpool then, okay.
Hey guys, I'm Chad, I play Boomstick. I'm Ben, I play Wiz.
They had to wait that little bit longer before setting all the fanboys off in a rage, didn't they? Like, guess what? Ponies are coming back. Get mad. But oh my gosh, this was so satisfying. Because they basically showed us a Zoro fight from the manga. There's some clashing, some back and forth. Zoro gets injured, stands up like, is that all, bitch? And then he like really amps up his game and just takes the opponent out. That is how all of his fights go in the first half of the series. He's been getting more curb stomps on his side post-time skip. I think we're still waiting for a moment where he's truly struggled, but yeah, if we're going on pre-time skip, yeah, get injured, stand up, like, I'm still going, and the opponent can't keep going. Yeah, who knows? At the start of this video I might put a short compilation of moments I love from him that they missed or something. Depends how late I get to editing this. If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. It's fine. But yeah, wow. This went about as well as I could have expected. But I think that was actually perfect for the two of them, especially how they'd react in that situation, at least as someone who's been reading it for a while in my own personal perspective. Yeah, I am super happy. And now I am super hyped to get to Pinky and Deadpool. Wow. Yeah, I don't have anything to say about this, especially because it went exactly the way I expected / hoped for. So, One Piece fans signing off, I guess. I shall see you guys next time.